Here's something really rare in Scotland. The sun. Oh, look at that. Spectacular today. Can't believe it. So I was down at Origin Knives yesterday and I was putting my knives through a couple of treatments and getting a few mods done. And this is my Rada by Origin Knives. Hope you can see there's the label there. Had this knife for a good couple of years now. This is made in RWL 34, and what I got done yesterday was a swedge put on it. I hope you can make this out with this sunlight as it's reflecting off the blade. So it's only about an inch in length. I can't wait to try this one out. I had a shot yesterday, it done really good, but that was just on pallets because that's all we had available to break up using the swedge. And I'm up here today at Camp Royal, which I haven't been for months due to the lockdown. So I'll go away and find some wood and I'll get back to you. Let's see how this swedge gets on at doing a bit of splitting then. Right, so here we have the knife and we're going to test this swedge out. And this is the first Rada with a swedge on it. So let's see how it gets on. I've got a bit of pine here that's already been broken up into kindling. So I just need to split it down further. As you can see, it's a bit raw to it. Loads of knots in it. So let's see how we get on. Nice. Yeah, that's working. Excellent. I mean, that's reasonably thick, that, couple of inches. Look at that, right through it. Turn it around that way. You can see the knots in it. I hope you're catching this on camera. Prep that I do with the knife. So that's good enough for me, and it's performing fantastic here. Look at that. Just saw these wee knots. It's not the greatest piece of wood here that I've got to do this. Let's look at it. Yeah, so that's doing fine. Happy enough with that. So all it's done is actually increase the capability of this knife, and I really do like this knife. I love the steel and its performance level that you get out of the RWL 34. Well, there you go, all that kindling done in a few minutes with the greatest ease. What a difference that little swedge has made to the knife when it comes to splitting my kindling, and also I think it's going to do really well when it comes to puncturing material as well, or at least going to assist me now, whereas before it was quite thick up here to give it the strength all the way to the tip. I much prefer this. So this is only day one of the trials with the swedge, but anyone with one of these, I would recommend that straight off the bat. What a difference in performance there. Much easier when it comes to splitting this down. So there you go, Kev. It's another one of your designs that's worked good for me, so thanks very much. And yesterday while I was down, this is my neck knife that you see me using most weekends when I'm out. This is done in B-cut. I've had this for near enough 3.5, 4 years now. And I went down to Kev's and he sharpened it. I can't believe how good a steel this is. Don't get me wrong, this isn't for heavy duty stuff, but I do a lot of carving, all my small cutting tasks with it. This B-cut steel's fantastic. I mean, 3 years and didn't need sharpen. All I've done is stropped it, and he hardly done anything to it once he got there. The shoulder was getting a bit larger, more pronounced, so I was needing to alter the angle when it came to cutting it, but it was still taking hairs off my arm. So he went and dressed it up for me yesterday and gave it a quick hone on the belts. I mean, it's scary sharp now, and it holds a fantastic edge, and every weekend when I finish I just give it once, twice up and down the belt, and it just comes back to its original sharpness. So this bee cut, I can recommend that as well. Anybody interested in trying that steel out? Right Kev, so thanks for doing that for me. So let's see what you've got to say in the rest of this interview. Right Kev, my next question to you is, how do you come up with your knife designs?
My own knives are designed around the tasks that I'm looking for them to do. So it's form following function. If the knife looks good but it can't perform the task that you've designed it or had it in mind for it to do, then it's pointless, it doesn't work. So I tend to have either a particular task that I'm looking for the knife to perform, or primary, secondary, tertiary, and so on down the list, tasks that I look for it to do, and then design how I think that should feel in the hand, how I think it'll perform when I'm cutting with it, and build it from there. So the field testing is an important part of that, because I've been doing this 9 years. It's not a long time in the grand scheme of things, and although I've been very fortunate with my designs, they seem to do what I'm asking them to do. Have been mistakes made, but they tend to be small. I've got the general concept right, but there might be some tweaks needing done, but I've never made a design that has just out and out failed to do what it was supposed to do.
Yep.
So yeah, the field testing I think is important, because it irons out those niggles that you've built the knife. Does it do what it's meant to do?
Gives you peace of mind then?
It does, and I think it also gives my customers peace of mind too, because they know that while, well, yourself testing the knives, you tend to beat the living daylights out of the big heavy ones because they're meant to take that, and they know that they don't have to do that to their knife when they've got it, because they've seen it done, but they know that if they absolutely had to, it's going to take it.
Yeah.
And so it's that peace of mind, that knowing that the heat treat's right, the geometry works, and the knife is fit for purpose.
Right, my next question to you is, you recently done an axe design. Will there be any more coming in the near future?
Not sure about near future. We've got a lot of orders on at the moment. But yes, I have got another couple of designs that I want to add to that range. The first axe I made was a number of years ago, and it was one of those designs where some of the features on it I liked. It generally worked, but I wasn't fully happy with the axe in its entirety. And I took what I learned from that to make the axe that I've just done. And that one seems to work very, very well. I'm really happy with that one. But I want to make two more in the range effectively. One bigger and one smaller. So that'll be the mid-size one.
Right. Right, my next question to you is, you've recently started a YouTube channel. How are you finding it, and what's the pros and cons to that one for you?
Now that's an interesting one. It's extremely time consuming, very much so. You tend to find that to get a 2-minute video up, you've got just, I don't know, depends on how bad the day goes. It can be 50 takes of where you get it wrong, or noise in the background, or somebody coming in. You don't realise how much is involved in getting such a short video onto a channel, what goes on behind it. So no, that's interesting.
Have you been finding that difficult to try and fit it in with your work?
Yes. Even to make a video, I've done several now. I've only got 3 on the channel, but I've recorded the footage, if you like, for at least half a dozen, but I've had to reject it when I've tried to edit it together. I've found that the cameras, the way it's been situated, when I load it onto the editing program, it flips it, or it's not in shot because of that, and it takes so much time. You find you're not concentrating on, for instance, grinding a knife, you're wondering whether you're grinding the knife and you're on this camera or that camera, or is the noise. Yeah, it really adds to the length of time it takes to get a task done. So that's going to be a steep learning curve.
So you're trying to tell me you're not an IT expert?
Not like you. Yeah.
And what kind of material are you thinking of putting up on your channel?
Obviously it's going to be centred around about my knives, but I'm hoping to show the knives in action, as in when I'm away fishing. This Van Axe steel, if I get a piece of that, I'm looking to make a fishing knife.
Right.
And I'm hoping to show, obviously, that working on fish when I catch them and gut them, cook them on the beach, that kind of stuff. So there'll be I've got a lot of ideas that I want to put on the channel.
Okay then, so we'll be looking forward to seeing what you come up with eventually after that. That's us come to the end of the interview, and if you have any questions for Kev, you just put them in the comments and surely we'll get back to you at some point. All I'll have to say now, Kev, is thanks very much for taking time out of your day. I know you're really busy and you've got a lot of knives to do, so I'm going to let you go now. Thanks again, and I'll catch you all soon.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much. It's nice to talk to you.